This is a sample chapter of a book that is now given freely on Team Success Network's online library of books. It may not be free forever, so feel free to explore the website now and read our books at no charge. We will have hundreds of high-quality Christian books, as well as other kinds to benefit a Christian's life. This sample chapter is part of the book called The Ant Seasons of Success, Book 2, How to Prepare, Plan, and Prosper Through Every Stage of Life. Chapter 1, Wisdom, Summer Strategy, the Season of Abundance and Opportunity, How the Ant Turns Favorable Seasons into Future Security. Understanding the season of summer. Summer is the most beautiful and productive time in nature's rhythm. The sun is bright, the earth is warm, and creation bursts with life. The ant understands something that most humans overlook. Seasons of abundance are not for leisure alone, but for labor that secures the future. When the world is full of resources, the ant doesn't waste the moment. It works while conditions are right. Many people mistake good times for times of indulgence. They think prosperity is permanent, forgetting that the same cycle that brings sunshine will eventually bring storms. The ant doesn't make that mistake. It understands the principle of stewardship, that what is easy today will not always be easy tomorrow. That's why it moves with urgency while others are resting in comfort. God designed summer seasons in our lives to test how we handle blessing. These are the moments when doors open, opportunities come easily, and strength is abundant. But those who waste their summer will have little to draw from when winter comes. The ant's wisdom whispers to every believer, make the most of the light while you have it. Even Jesus taught this principle. In John 9, verse 4, he said, as long as it is day, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. The ant lives this truth instinctively, moving quickly and quietly during its day of opportunity. We are called to do the same. The stewardship test of abundance. Blessing always carries responsibility every time God gives abundance. Whether it's time, finances, or spiritual clarity, He's giving you the resources to prepare for what's next. The ant proves that prosperity isn't meant for indulgence, it's meant for investment. It doesn't waste its energy chasing pleasure because it knows pleasure doesn't produce provision. Human nature often reverses this truth. When things go well, people tend to relax, let their guard down, and forget discipline. But wisdom says what you build in ease sustains you in hardship. The ant's work ethic during summer teaches that the best time to grow in faith, finances, and character is when you don't feel desperate. Deuteronomy 8 verse 18 says, but remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth. God gives strength and opportunity, not so that we can coast, but so that we can construct something lasting. Every resource is a test of stewardship. If you use your summer for spiritual laziness, you'll find yourself spiritually bankrupt when winter comes. Abundance reveals the heart. It shows whether we will stay grateful or grow complacent. The ant teaches that gratitude isn't just saying thank you, it's proving appreciation through wise use of what's been given. When you manage your summer season well, you're honoring the giver, not just enjoying the gift. The spiritual meaning of summer. Spiritually speaking, summer represents moments when God feels close, prayers are answered, and faith feels effortless. It's when your heart is full, your path is clear, and your life seems fruitful. But these moments are meant to build strength, not pride. They are opportunities to go deeper, not to drift. The ant doesn't mistake warmth for permanence and knows the heat of summer will fade. Similarly, wisdom reminds you that spiritual highs don't last forever. God allows seasons of joy and clarity so that you can build reserves of truth, character, and intimacy with Him before challenges return. Psalm 1 verse 3 describes the blessed person as one who is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season and whose leaf does not wither. The secret is in the preparation, the unseen root work that happens while the weather is favorable. The ant models this perfectly. While others enjoy the breeze, it's quietly securing its future beneath the surface. Summer seasons are not for coasting. They are for cultivating. They are God's gift of time, energy, and clarity to position you for harvest. The wise see these moments as divine invitations to grow deeper roots before the next storm arrives. Diligence over distraction. Distraction is the thief of diligence. The ant doesn't have to fight entertainment or laziness the way humans do. It simply acts in alignment with its purpose. But people often let distractions steal the opportunity of their summer season. They get comfortable, assuming the light will always shine. Proverbs 10 verse 5 warns, "He who gathers crops in summer is a prudent son, but he who sleeps during harvest is a disgraceful son." This verse captures the tragedy of wasted opportunity. The sleeping worker is not evil, just unwise. He thought he had more time, more energy, more chances. But the ant teaches that delay always costs more than diligence. Every season of your life carries hidden assignments from God. Some tasks must be done now, not later. Diligence requires focus and foresight. The ant doesn't need external motivation because its purpose fuels its pace. In the same way, believers are called to work from conviction, not convenience. True diligence is not about being busy. It's about being faithful. The ant doesn't scatter energy randomly. It works in rhythm, step by step, toward a clear goal. Every grain matters, because every grain builds the future. Using favor wisely. Favor from God is like sunlight, beautiful, powerful, and temporary in its expression. The ant teaches us to use it while it lasts. Summer seasons of favor are meant for building what will endure. This is when ideas flow easily, doors open effortlessly, and progress feels natural. But if you fail to use that flow, you'll find yourself struggling in a season that should have been restful. Proverbs 21 verse 20 says, "The wise store up choice food and olive oil, but fools gulp theirs down. The fool consumes everything they receive." The wise conserve and invest. The ant operates with foresight, not indulgence. It stores while others spend. It invests while others waste. That is the essence of divine wisdom, using the present to prepare for the future. Using favor wisely also means understanding your personal season. God may give you a summer in one area of life while another area still feels like winter. The key is to recognize where He is providing light and move with it. Wisdom means adapting to where the grace currently flows. The ant doesn't try to harvest when there's no fruit. It works where the conditions are right. When you recognize favor as a tool rather than a trophy, you start living like the wise. You stop asking, "How long will this last?" and start asking, "How can I multiply this moment?" That shift changes everything. Building habits that last. The ant's strength lies not in a single burst of effort, but in consistent habits. Every day, it repeats the same motion, gathering, storing, and organizing. Its success is not accidental, it's patterned. This is how you build wisdom, through repetition that refines, not routine that numbs. Habits determine harvests. The ant doesn't depend on motivation, it depends on structure. It has internal order that produces external fruit. You too must build systems that keep you faithful when emotion fades. Summer seasons are ideal for building new spiritual disciplines, developing skills, and setting healthy rhythms before pressure comes. Galatians 6 verse 9 encourages, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." The ant's consistency embodies this truth. It doesn't expect instant results. It trusts process. That's what wisdom looks like, steady, quiet progress over time. If you want to harvest later, you must create a pattern now. The ant's daily diligence becomes its daily protection. Likewise, every act of obedience builds stability into your future, the blessing of preparedness. Preparedness is not paranoia, it's peace. The ant's calm during winter comes from confidence in its preparation. It doesn't panic because it's already provided for. This is what God desires for His people, that they live ready, not reactive. Proverbs 30 verse 25 celebrates this truth. Ants are creatures of little strength, yet they store up their food in the summer. Their wisdom compensates for their weakness. They don't wait for crisis to start working. They prepare when resources are available. In the same way, spiritual maturity means seeing beyond the moment and living with foresight. Preparedness also applies to your heart. The ant's actions reflect the truth of the Spirit. You can't wait for trial to build faith. You must store truth in your heart while life feels easy. Then, when hardship comes, you draw strength from what's already hidden inside. God calls this kind of foresight wisdom. It's the quiet awareness that today's obedience creates tomorrow's stability. When you prepare in advance, you move through seasons with peace instead of panic. Faith in the flow of seasons, the ant never doubts the cycle. It doesn't question whether winter will come, it simply acts accordingly. That confidence reflects faith in the consistency of God's order. The ant's life is a sermon of trust, believing in what is unseen by preparing for it now. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1 reminds us, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." The ant lives by this reality, flowing effortlessly through life cycles. It doesn't resist seasons, it respects them. Wisdom means doing the right work at the right time in the right way. When you align your life with God's rhythm, you stop fearing change. You understand that every season carries both purpose and provision. The same God who gives summer for gathering gives winter for resting. Both are holy when honored. Faith in seasons keeps you steady when others panic. You learn to prepare with peace, knowing that God's design never fails. Like the ant, you become confident in the Creator's order, not your own control. Key truth: summer is God's training ground for the wise. It's the season to store what will sustain you later. Those who use abundance to prepare for the future prove they understand heaven's rhythm. Every seed sown in sunlight becomes a shield in the storm. Summary: the Ant Summer Strategy is a masterclass in divine wisdom. It teaches that opportunity is temporary, diligence is timeless, and preparation is power. God gives abundance not to make us comfortable, but to make us capable. Those who steward their summer well will never fear their winter. Summer is more than a warm season. It's a spiritual assignment. It calls you to use the blessing of today to build the blessing of tomorrow. Like the ant, your labor in the light creates peace in the dark. Work wisely while it's day, and your soul will rest securely through every night to come. Thank you for listening to the first chapter of this book. We are happy to share it with you. The purpose of creating this chapter on audio is to let you get a feel for what this book is about. These books are offered free for now online, and you can read them all directly on our website. They may not always be free, so read them today. TeamSuccessNetwork.com. God bless you, and please check out all of our titles.